Alright, hello everyone. Welcome to day 3 of Advent Code. So we're gonna pick up where we left off yesterday and check out the new challenge for today. Go ahead. You and an elf eventually reach a gondola lift station. He says the gondola lift will take you up to the water source. This is as far as he can bring you. You go inside. It doesn't take long for you to find the gondolas, but there seems to be a problem. They are not moving. You turn around to see a slightly greasy elf with a wrench and look of surprise. Sorry, I wasn't expecting anyone. The gondola lift isn't working right now. It'll still be a while before I can fix it. You offer to help. The engineer explains that an engine part seems to be missing from the engine. Nobody can figure out which one. If you can add up all the part numbers in the engine schematic, it should be easy to work out which part is missing. The engine schematic, your puzzle input, consists of a visual representation of the engine. There are a lot of numbers and symbols you really don't understand. But apparently any number adjacent to a symbol, even diagonally, is a part number and should be included in your sum. Periods do not count as a sum. So here's an example of an engine schematic. In this schematic, two numbers are not part numbers because they are not adjacent to a symbol. 114 and 58. Every other number is adjacent to a symbol, and so is a part number. Your sum is 4361. Okay, so we have to parse this grid, and any number that is adjacent to a symbol, up, down, left, right, and diagonally, are part numbers. The ones like this 114 and this 58 are not part numbers. And this is our puzzle. Massive. Okay, so another parsing problem. Let's file text file. That there. Okay, the diagonally is always tricky part. That's not stratus. Right away. Or info or line info. So just got have our normal stuff. The other thing that's going to be kind of inconvenient to try and figure out is that we're looking at numbers of varying length. We just need one of the numbers and need to capture all of this. So I'm thinking I want to read through each line. I hit a number. Keep in until I hit a period. If I can grab and this 7 attached to this 4 in the stick, single number, but only the 7 is the one that's touching the hash. 4 and the 6 are. I need to be able to tell the 4 and the 6, hey, you're attached to a number that is touching a symbol. I tend to stare off into random parts, random corners, so don't mind me while I'm thinking. So I have an idea. It seems kind of clunky and a little slow, but it should work, I think. Maybe. I focus just like time, but to Earth. Oh, I'm thinking about, this is overly engineered. I'm thinking about making a new grid that is representing that's being new grid of object. It seems really not sure how I want. I don't know. All the will be for each line. Bro. So if we're scanning down this list, if we hit a number, then start recording that number. And then we keep recording the number. Like we keep adding in digit. We hit a period. We build the entire 400. When we hit a period, we know that we can start. So if d dot If C dot is digit, current plus C, else current equal. Okay, so this is building the number 4, 3, 5, 6. Okay, so we're building up each of the numbers. Then we need to check to see if one of these, if as we're building a number, is it a part? If is it adjacent? So we need to look up, down, left, right, and diagonally to see if it's touching a special. This is going to be a string of ugly if statement. Also, let's do it one row at a time. So like, say I'm looking at, then I am needing that. If I'm looking at this 5, I need to look at these 3 numbers above the 5, 2 numbers around the 5, 3 numbers. False. Part. Here, this is like numbers 3. So looking at a character, how do we do this? I saw this fancy like. Let's grab the, yeah, I want to try that. This gives me the index and the item, I think, if I understand. So for enumerate, oh, and yeah, that's really cool. I like that. We have learned something. That's important. Learning stuff. Here we can say for character index character. Enumerate is pretty handy, yeah. Have you already finished the problem? Am I that slow? Okay. You had me worried there. You're close. Okay. I think I'm getting there. I'm learning. And I have the idea of what I want to do. It's just figuring out how to do it in a smart way. So this becomes, is char a function name something something? Like, am I trying to overload something? Because that's no, that's not always a good thing to do. All right, so we're scanning down the line. So we're scanning on this line, and we're kind of building up numbers, and we need to check above, below, and blah blah blah. So let's see. If line index is not 0, we can't look above when we're on the top row. All right, we're gonna have some indentation. I don't want to combine this up too much. So if this becomes several layers deep, I'm sorry. So if we're not on the top line, then we want to look above. So we want to look at info at line index minus. So this is the line above, and we want to look at character index -1, character index itself, and character index +1. So if this is, if not dot is digit, and make it a little bit cleaner. We'll look at these variable names. Do northwest, north, northeast. These cardinal directions to the so if northwest not and west period, then pardon. So, because we want to make sure it's not a digit and it's not a period. Need to somehow grab the last. We have numbers on. Say if part out of far left. Okay, this is far right. There's gotta be a nice thing. Crap, crap, crap. Getting ugly. I don't like it. 35, 592, 65, 35, 592. That's working. I don't like it. It's working. So then how do we differentiate the numbers that are unmet? That and our deck. And so we're not at the end of the line. And we the next thing is not a number. The next thing is a period. We know that, hey, we've hit the end of a number. If this equal to the line and part number, and in case we hit a part number that in the 35, 592, 664, 5. So those are the numbers. Okay. So that's that. That's it looking above. Now we need to look below, and we need to look left and right. So let's see. Basically, we need to do the same thing for, let's do below. So if line deck I was thinking if maybe I could come up with a nice. Okay, now we're just doing the same thing but with south, south, south. Here we're doing +1. Here we're doing +1. And here +1. South. We're looking at the line below us. South. South. Please. If mine. Now we have crap. Couldn't have her. Looking at the either. Putting the number. Good. Important. Well, that we're not even supposed to be reading that one. That one's not legal. Great. If that. If the partner Why is it getting flagged? If it's not a digit and not equal, looking at the line below. Oh, is it this? That period. I don't need to be looking at current. Think. Thought it. If so need not look at if our we need not do this if we're not even that's the problem. We were looking at a period and it was turning something apart. That'll paste it too. We still have five. Seven. I get 35. So well, I only need to do this. So Should only do this. Four, 7, 35, 633. 5. Okay, now I need some cat. 5. West. If our index in current line 1 plus
Still working on it?
Yes, I'm still working. I'm really bad at grid like problem. I don't know why. I'm really poor at them. I need to come up with a way of understanding how to like extract the information that I need without all the stupid loaded if statement stuff. It's just, yeah. Yeah, I know I'm bad at these kinds of problems, so it's one of those kinds of problems where you're scanning through a 2D array and you want to be looking at things that are going on up, down, left, right, and diagonally. And I'm just really poor at those kinds of problems. I need to really like once I solve it, probably tomorrow. I'm gonna solve it tonight, but tomorrow sometime I'll probably look at some other people's solutions to see if I can find someone who has like similar ideas to how I want to implement things, but in a more elegant way of doing all this parsing, because that's just what I'm struggling with. Okay, so if it's a digit, then west dot is digit, and west not equal to period, then part number, and also okay. 4, 6, 7, 35, 33, 6, 7, 5, 2, 5. Okay. Looks like it's working. How was your day range, bro? Did you right? Yeah. They want the sum, yeah. To the right thing, right places, use the right data type. Okay. seems to be working. It works for the example, but I hope it works for the not so example. Oh, what did I do wrong? 7. It was good. Finally wired to ground to the optical outlet so I can power surge. That is good. I like that level of reassurance. Okay, why am I going out of range? I am doing this. If we are less than the length, so at the end, we cannot go off the length by my brain isn't working. Off by 1 errors. I naively just want to put a -1 there. Because if I that sounds great. That's an. It didn't tell me if it was too high or too low. What? Wrong. Let's see. That's what I have it. This logic. Finally got through part 1. I'm almost there. I have a bug that I tried to avoid. I tried to avoid it incorrectly. Today I learned that iterators are single use. Okay. RP2 solution super poop. My part 1 solution super poop. Let's see. Plus. If it's a part, not next number. Why is if it's less than why is this not the part? What is this I'm looking at? You're looking at me struggling. That's what you're looking at. If that... Do you need help? No, I just need to debug this. Nice. If the digit, what is turning it off? Making it not a part. Through here. Why is it not added to the part? If the character index is equal to the and its part. World, it's true. It literally says it's true. It's not getting added to the list. Length of the line. It should be a minus. But that's off by one errors. Gotta love off by one errors. In this schematic, there are two gears. First is in the top left. It has part number blah and blah, so it's gear ratio blah. The second gear is at the lower right. Its gear ratio is blah. Adjacent. Oh, I missed. The engineer finds the missing part and installs it into the engine. As the engine springs to life, you jump into the closest gondola, finally ready to escape the water source. You don't seem to be going very fast, though. Maybe something is wrong. Fortunately, the gondola has a phone labeled help. You pick it up and the engineer answers. Great engineers. Before he can explain the situation, she suggests that you look out the window. There stands the engineer holding a phone in one hand and waving with the other. You're going so slow that you haven't even left the station. You exit the gondola. The missing part wasn't the only issue. One of the gears in the engine is wrong. A gear is any asterisk, lovely, that is adjacent to exactly 2 part numbers. Gear ratio is a result of multiplying numbers. This time you need to find the gear ratio of every gear and add them all up. The engineer can figure out which gear to place. Okay. Now we need to look at the asterisks that are next to 2 part numbers. Yeah. Exactly 2 part. Wait. Now I'm wishing that I had done the object orient last that I started with. That would be nice. Might not be too late though. Well, hold on. So these are going to part. You know that they're going to be part numbers because they're next to Ash. We don't have to worry about that. Problem is that we need to do but how can it not be a part? Or how can I have more than 2 parts? There. Not. Look at a star. Down the end. If character so we only are concerned with stars And we only have to worry about looking at the line around here. Just need to make sure that there's not. But then we also need to grab the entire. So so if line index is not equal to so bring and credit idea of what you're looking at. So we want to store all the adjacent. Statement to the instant. Need to look at the character that touches the ash and look for an accurate. die. I don't know why. Talk about that. Right, let's just focus one line at a time. Okay, the line above. Process that line. Or that. So march down the thing. If it's a digit, then out of the current number, else do that. Then here. So, trying to figure out how to deal with. I have a star here. Then if I have a number here, I need to scan left till it's like I've finished looking at. If there's a number here, I need to scan right till I've completed reading the number. Problem is if all three of these are numbers, this is one big. Well, I'm saying if there's a number here. So this would be a number, this would be a number, but like if I have something in the middle where it connects it all together, like I could look at Y and I could say, okay, scan left until you stop. And I could look at this Y and I could scan right until I stop. But if it's one big continuous thing, then that's going to be a problem. So let's just look at if let's just say if there's a if this is not so if there's an above line, so we're looking at the graph above. So if above line at character index is not a digit, we'll just do it case by case. So not is digit. So if the thing right above it is not a digit, then we know that we're looking at that sort of thing. If it's not a digit, then we want to do the following. We want to look to the left. So if while index greater than 0 and above line at left index right. This is going to be character index 1. getting tired. So after is that. Left deck. Sure. Four is getting by one. Classic off by one error. Okay. If it is, the thing above it is a digit, then we need to look left and right. Else, yeah. There. Why is it happy? Why is it over right? Yeah. So if that, then I need to look at center number is going to be above line at above line at character. And I need to scan left and right, fill out the rest. So while left index greater than 0, and above line digit center number file right deck and wait it. That's just looking at the above line. If low line, you need the exact same thing. I think I can make all of this logic same prop. Now that I think about it, function. If left or like that. All this. The sensor number is and so much crap. Why? Why is it not? Oh. Yeah, this is what I thought. All of this needs to be tabbed over. Why isn't? Is it? The oh, all of that low line. I need to tab. There we go. Now we have to look at left and right. So one plus while left deck greater than 0 and er, er, left is string. Right. So then here's the problem. So go yeah, add up this product. Yeah. So if JSON numbers back to go six. All right, everyone, cross your fingers, hold your breath. All right. Ta-da! All right. God, I am awful at this kind of problem. Let's kind of talk through it. So, like that one. So we have a grid, numbers, and characters. And the whole point of the first part was to say, okay, look at strings of numbers and ask, are they next to special characters that weren't numbers and weren't periods? Periods in almost all these problems are placeholders just to make the data easy to visually. And so gather all the numbers that are adjacent to special numbers or special symbols like 4, 6, 7, 35. The thing is that the way that my brain works is that I want to think of this as a 2D array where you have lines, like you have line below another line below another line, so on and so forth. And so I need to be able to look at the line above, line below, the current line, and all cardinal directions. And I'm just not very slick at doing that sort of thing. So, you know, we go through and cutting out in and out in a funny way. That's not good. Is that better? So you go through and look at sorry, I lost my train of thought. So basically just looking at each cardinal direction. So the first hurdle was the fact that you're not concerned with just single digits by themselves, you're concerned with the entire string. So I enumerate through each character and then I check to see, you know, is it a digit? And if it is a digit, then sort of concatenate it onto whatever current number I'm working on. Because I need to sort of build my strings of digits, you know, one character at a time. And so I start with an empty string and then I say, okay, if it's a digit, then, you know, start building a number. And then if it's not a digit, then, okay, well, my number is now over and I need to reset my number. And then I also need to reset whether or not it's a part number, because the whole idea is we're trying to check to see if it's a part number, and part numbers are the ones that are adjacent to special characters. This is where it starts to get ugly. I look at the cardinal directions, northwest, north, northeast, so on and so forth, and check to see, you know, basically I'm looking at, you know, I'm a character. I need to look at all of my, you know, everything around me, and if any one of my cardinal directions, you know, the 8 different directions that I could go, if it's, you know, not a number and it's not a placeholder, then I know that I'm currently a character of a part number. And so I need to save that somehow. And so the thing that gets really ugly is like, okay, well, if I'm at the top line, I can't look above me. If I have, you know, this unnecessary if condition that I could probably clean this up somehow. So I've, you know, got another level of indentation. Same thing if I'm at the bottom, I can't look below. I have, you know, that conditional. And then east and west. And so this wasn't awful, but it just, I know that there's better ways to do these sorts of things. I just haven't learned them yet. I haven't sat down. It probably would help if I'd sat down and like whiteboarded this sort of thing out first. So that wasn't awful. The next one was trickier because now instead of just looking at part numbers, I'm looking at these gears. I'm looking at these asterisks, and I need to look at the numbers that are around an asterisk. So again, I'm looking above and below and stuff, and I need to check to see what numbers are touching asterisks. And the problem is that if I'm looking at, like, say this, let's say I'm looking at this 35. It is below an asterisk, so I need to count this. But I don't know how far left and how far right I need to go. And because the number 5 appears right below the asterisk, the way that I was thinking about it, I would need to scan left, but I would also need to scan right. And so I broke this up into 2 different situations. The first was whether or not the, character right above or right below was a digit, or if it was not a digit. If it was not a digit, then I know that I didn't have something that went, all the way across the asterisk. I had the possibility of something to the, to the left or to the right, but not all the way across. And so then I scanned left and I scanned right to try and, find whatever digits there were, and so on. Same thing with below, scan left, scan right. If I did have something where the thing below me or above me was a digit, then I knew that there could only be one number above or below, and so then I just look at that center digit and then scan left and right, and build my one number out of that, and then scan left and right for the current line, to the left and to the right of the asterisk, east and west. And so then basically what it is, I just built all of the adjacent numbers to a gear. And then for the particular problem, it was only interested in gears that had exactly 2 numbers adjacent to it. So I said, okay, well, I'm just going to build all of them and then look at the gears in which that length is exactly 2, and then gather the information that the problem was looking for. So again, this wasn't a good night for me. It took me well over an hour and a half to do it. I just really need to get better at these sorts of grid problems, and know how to parse this sort of data a little bit better. We did learn something though. So I've never used this enumerate command before, this enumerate function. I saw it in a lot of solutions for day 1 and day 2, and I thought it'd be really cool to try this out. So that's what's important. Might not look at it, or might not look like it, but I am having fun. I'm learning, and that's what's important. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks for following along, and I will see you all tomorrow for day 4 of Advent of Code 2023. Have a good night.